So I apologize in advance if this video is all over the place. Lauren and I, as you can see, we're in the process of packing up. We just got back to Miami and the cruise is over, so we got to get off the ship in about 10 minutes. But I bring all of you some breaking cruise news. Carnival Cruise Line, as well as Princess Cruise Lines and what appears to be the Carnival Corporation, has finally removed the masking policy for all of their crew members. And I gotta say, it's about time. Now, before I continue, I do want to preface this by saying I do understand why Carnival took the time that it did to remove the mask. We saw Royal Caribbean just a couple weeks ago also remove its masking for its crew members. We all know throughout the pandemic, during the past couple years, things have gotten extremely political. And, well, when you're talking about customer satisfaction involved and all the rumors that are circulating and the potential for, let's say, an outbreak, which was extremely rare on board cruise ships, you have a lot of people that were skeptical about the masking policies on board and maybe would or would not sail with a specific cruise line should they have their masking policy implemented. Now, with all of that said, as a former crew member, you guys all know that I'm extremely about the crew. I care about the crew. And I thought this whole weird crew wearing masks and passengers not wearing masks did not make any sense at all. I understand full well it kind of created some comfort, satisfaction in the fact that the crew were still doing everything they needed to do as far as safety. But you guys know I've been saying all along, if everyone is not maxed up and it's just the passengers that are able to roam around free and not have masking being implemented and it's just the crew, I think it kind of defeats the purpose, especially seeing that all of the crew members are fully vaccinated, they're boosted, they're tested weekly, depending on what cruise line. Most of them are making sure that all the crew members are tested weekly, and should something happen, well, the crew are probably the most healthiest people on board, considering they have to take a bunch of health tests and examinations prior to even starting their contract. Now, like I said, I do believe there is an understanding as to why Carnival took this long to release their masking policies for crew because, well, like I said, all of this has gotten extremely political. Royal Caribbean alone just released their masking policies for crew just a few weeks ago, and they had a situation of a potential outbreak. By outbreak, I mean they reached capacity in their COVID unit on board in their lower decks, and they potentially had to send some crew to hotels to finish their quarantine. Meanwhile, though, on the flip side of that, I've been sailing literally all year round, and I've been sailing over in Europe on Virgin ships, on MSC ships. The crew were not masked on board, and, well, they had no situation on board any of their ships with COVID overrunning any of the ships or having a significant number of cases. So I do believe you have to look at both sides and come to a determination on whether or not all the crew need to be masked on board or if all the passengers and crew all have to wear masks on board. We do have Cookie Monster. He's a famous cruise director for Carnival, chiming in saying that we can see everybody's smiling faces now. And I've been saying this all along. I do believe that when it comes to the masking, yes, I get it on the guise of safety. However, we as humans, first of all, we're social beings, and the first thing we learn in our childhood as we're growing up in adolescence, we look at faces, facial expressions, looking at how people are speaking. This is how we learn to talk. This is how we learn to observe people, feel their vibe, and see exactly what their true intentions are. I believe facial recognition and being able to see everybody's face is very, very, very important, especially when you're talking about a service-based industry, vacation-based industry such as cruising. It is, of course, a very complicated situation, but I still say better late than never. But of course, let me know your thoughts on this topic in the comment section below. Now, like I said, Lauren and I are getting ready to disembark the Scarlet Lady. Well, eventually, Lauren, first of all, I don't even know how she packed that much in there in this little bag, but she has to roll everything perfectly so it can fit. Look at this. She still has drawers of clothes. I need to take some advice because usually I just bring a big bag and just throw all of it in there. She knows that. But anyway, guys, tomorrow I will have a review. Lauren and I are going to sit down and talk about everything that we loved and hated about the Scarlet Lady. You guys know that I do love Virgin. I think it's one of the best lines out there for me. One of my personal favorites. However, this cruise was a doozy. So we're going to put out a full review. Lauren's going to explain what she felt as far as her first experience on a Virgin cruise ship. I also have my Patreon launching tomorrow afternoon, and let me just say, I got some interviews that are very, very interesting. However, it's going to be my Patreon because there are a lot of naughty words on there that I can't put on YouTube. Either way, guys, this is what we have. I just want to let you guys know what's going on. We got to get off the ship. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Well, I have another video coming up later today on this channel. Just stay tuned. And on my other channel, Jay the Nomad. I appreciate you guys. I love all of you. And I'll see you later. That's my line. Take it easy.